Hello everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel The Lung Anatomy. You guys will watch in this video. Hopefully this video will be helpful for you just like my previous videos. So watch it. Hopefully you guys can uh, understand the anatomy of lungs. So you must have some understanding about the lungs, why the lungs are important. It's a really important organ of our body. So it's really important for the respiration. It's cone in shape, and as well as it is really important for the oxygenation of the blood as well. And we have a pair of lungs which lie in the thoracic cavity and the heart which lie between two lungs. So now we are discussing about some structure of lungs. Uh, as you guys will see in the image, there is written as well. So lungs are basically cone in shape, as we discussed before, but the apex, the superior uh, corner part, is called as apex, and the lower part, like, it's a base, and three surfaces, three borders. The left lung is slightly smaller than the right. This is due to the presence of heart, and there's a depression over the left side of the heart which is known as the cardiac notch, because a heart is present over there which fit that depression. So hopefully you guys will a little understanding of lung structure. Further we will discussing. So as we discussed previously, we have an apex, that is a blunt superior end of the lung. It projects upward above the level of the first rib into the first floor of the neck. So the base, the inferior surface of the lung, resides on the diaphragm. Lobes, we have two or three lobes. Like, there is a separate by fissures within the lungs, but in the left surface we have two lobes, and in the right surface we have three lobes. And the surfaces, these correspond to the areas of the thorax that they face. They are named as the costal surface, mediastinal and diaphragmatic surface, and the borders, the edges of the lungs, named as the anterior border, inferior border and posterior border. So all these structure we will discuss in our coming slide. So hopefully this will be helpful. So in this image, you guys will easily understand the all structure as we discussed before. The trachea, as you guys can see, where the trachea lie, and the apex, the superior most part of the lungs, is the apex. Then where the all structure can enter in the lungs, that part is known as the hilum, where the all artery, trachea, and different venous system enter in the lung is known as the hilum. I will show you in the next slide the bronchial tree. Inside the lung there is a bronchial tree present, and the anterior border, just anterior side of the lung, posterior as posterior side, back side of the lung, the cardiac notch, where the heart is present, the depression is formed. As you have seen before, it is a cardiac notch. Costal surface and the mediastinal surface and inferior border, as you guys can see, and just opposite of the apex is a base. So in this you guys will easily understand. So just above the diaphragmatic, diaphragm is the muscle. So just above the diaphragm is our two lungs is present, and you guys can easily understand the anterior surface, like the bronchial tree as is there shown in the image, the breathing pattern of the heart. So the inspiration and expiration process you guys can see easily in this video. So, as we discussed before, we have three lobes in the right lung and the two lobes in the left lung. So, there is a hilum is shown in between over there, so you guys can easily understand. So where's the hilum, and lobes are divided because of fissures, and we have uh, two lobes in the left half. So we have just oblique fissure, and we have only superior and inferior lobe in the left lung. And the right side, as we can see, we have a horizontal fissure and oblique fissure. So fissure divided our lobes. So we have three lobes in the right lung: superior lobe, inferior lobe, and middle lobe. So this is the interior view. As you guys can see, the superior lobe right and left, and inferior lobe right and left, and we have a middle lobe which is only present on the right side, and we have a cardiac notch, the depression, as we discussed before, in the left lung. So how you guys can differentiate the right and left lung? The cardiac notch is only present on the left lung, and the middle lobe is only present on the right lung. So as we discussed, we have border and the surfaces, three borders: the anterior, inferior, and posterior border as written in the green. The anterior side we have a line, we have anterior border, inferiorly we have inferior border, and posteriorly we have a posterior border. Mediastinal surface, diaphragmatic surface, and costal surface. Mediastinal surface, just backside of the mediastinum we have a mediastinal surface. The middle side of the lung, diaphragmatic surface, it's the inferior side where we have a diaphragmatic muscle, and the costal surface we have just backside of the costal cartilages, as you guys can see written in the plaque just above the lung. So hopefully you guys will understand these structures. So as we discussed, we have a bronchial tree. So supplies air to the alveoli basically of the lung. It begins with the trachea. The trachea divides in the right and left bronchus. Then the bronchus divide into bronchioles. We there is a branches like structure that we call as bronchial tree. Then the bronchioles then form a alveoli, and then within the alveoli the gaseous exchange occur because there is a presence of capillaries. So in this image, you guys will easily understand the how the trachea divides into right and left bronchus. Then we have a bronchioles. Then the bronchioles we have alveoli. In alveoli we have a capillaries where the gaseous exchange can occur. So hopefully you guys will easily understand the whole uh, bronchial tree, how the bronchial tree form and the gaseous exchange occur at the level of alveoli. So thank you for watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe the channel if you haven't subscribed it yet. Click the bell icon, share it with your friends as well.